What does it take to create the ultimate muscle car? Speed, power, and a legacy that will leave anyone in the dust. From the legendary Shelby GT500 Super Snake to the mind-blowing GT350, Ford has made some of the fastest, most iconic muscle cars in history. But which one truly reigns supreme? Can a 1967 Shelby really match the raw power of a 2020 GT500? How fast can a Ford Mustang go before it's nothing more than a blur? Buckle up, because some of these beasts are about to break records you never saw coming. Number 13. The 2010 FPV FG GT. Imagine a car that perfectly blends the raw power of a muscle car with the refinement of modern engineering. That's the 2010 FPV FG GT. Built by Ford Performance Vehicles in Australia, this beast took the iconic Falcon GT line to the next level. Well, it was the first FPV GT to feature a supercharged engine, a 5.0-liter V8 powerhouse, pumping out a jaw-dropping 449 horsepower and 570 newton-meters of torque. Simply put, this car wasn't just fast, it was ferocious. One of the coolest features was its quad-pipe exhaust system. Not only did this boost performance, but it also gave the car a roar that could send shivers down your spine. Pure music to any car enthusiast's ears. On the design front, it was a call to classic muscle cars with bold graphics and sporty vibes, but it didn't stop there. Ford blended in modern touches to ensure the GT wasn't just about speed. It handled beautifully and offered a surprisingly comfortable ride. Number 12. 1969 and 1970 Ford Mustang Boss 429. So, Ford wanted to dominate NASCAR, so they built a car that would rewrite the rules, the Boss 429. And oh boy, it was a statement of engineering brilliance. At its heart was a 7.0-liter V8 engine, officially rated at 375 horsepower. But here's the thing, whispered among enthusiasts is the belief that it packed closer to 500 horsepower. This wasn't your everyday engine. It was purpose-built for NASCAR's strict requirements, making it one of the most powerful factory engines of its era. But the Boss 429 wasn't just about brute force. It had the looks to match. A bulging hood to house that massive engine, a wider stance, and aggressive styling made it a head-turner on the streets and the track. With only about 1,300 units ever made, it's the kind of car that collectors dream about. So owning one is like having a piece of American racing history parked in your garage. 11. The 1973 Ford Falcon XB GT. Now, let's hop across the Pacific to Australia, where the 1973 Ford Falcon XB GT ruled the roads. If you've ever seen Mad Max, you know this car. It's a movie star and a muscle car legend, powered by options ranging from a 4.1-liter inline-six to V8s up to 5.8 liters. It offered plenty for enthusiasts craving power. But the XB GT wasn't just fast, it looked the part too. Flared wheel arches, a bold front grille, and a menacing stance screamed performance. What made it unique, though, was its ability to blend American muscle car aggression with Aussie practicality. You could drive it daily and still take it to the track on weekends. It was a do-it-all muscle car. Racing only added to its reputation. The XB GT made a name for itself in Australian touring car competitions during the 70s, cementing its place in muscle car lore. Today, it's more than just a car. It's a cultural icon, loved by collectors and fans worldwide. Number 10. The 1987 Ford Mustang GT. Now this car? Oh, this one's a real game changer. Let's set the scene. The 80s were all about fuel efficiency and stricter emission standards. Muscle cars were losing their edge, and people were starting to wonder if the glory days of raw power were over. Then boom, the 1987 Mustang GT hit the streets, and it changed the whole game. Under the hood, this beast packed a 5.0-liter V8 engine that pushed out 225 horsepower. But it wasn't just about brute strength. This Mustang could zoom from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 6.5 seconds, making it not only quick, but seriously fun to drive. With its lightweight design and rear-wheel drive, it was ready to tear up the road with some slick handling that made it feel like a true muscle car, without all the sluggishness of the past. What made this car so special was how it blended the old-school muscle car vibes with modern technology. The aerodynamic body gave it a sleek, aggressive look, while the updated suspension smoothed out the ride, but still let you enjoy those sharp turns. And let's talk about fuel injection. It wasn't just for better efficiency. It made the car respond faster and more reliably than the carbureted Mustangs of the past. Plus, being part of the Fox body generation, the 87 Mustang GT was a perfect blank canvas for tuners to tune it into an even bigger monster. Number 9. The 1970 Ford Torino GT Cobra. Imagine the streets of 1970, roaring with the sound of pure muscle. And there it was, the Ford Torino GT Cobra, a beast among cars. This was an attitude on wheels. The Torino had grown bigger, with a sleek, aerodynamic design that stretched a massive 206.2 inches. Its 117-inch wheelbase gave it a commanding presence. Well, at the heart of this beast was the legendary 429 cubic inch V8 engine. Depending on the setup, this powerhouse pushed out a thunderous 360 to 375 horsepower, delivering raw torque that made drag racers drool. Here's the magic. The Torino Cobra didn't just blast off like a rocket by hitting 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.8 seconds. It also offered a surprisingly smooth ride. Comfort and performance? Now that's a rare combo. Its aggressive styling screamed performance, with bold touches like exposed headlights, a blackout hood, and those optional rear window slats that added a rebellious edge. Add the performance packages into this mix, and you had a car that wasn't just fast, it was race-ready. Number 8. The 1994 Ford Mustang GT SVT Cobra. This wasn't just another Mustang, it was a full-on upgrade, ready to turn heads and tear up the streets. Under the hood, it had a 5.0-liter V8 engine, pumping out 305 horsepower. Pair that with a 5-speed manual transmission, and you've got a car that not only roars, but makes you feel every shift. And let's talk about its look. This Cobra wasn't shy. It had wider fenders, a more aggressive front fascia, and of course, the special Cobra badging. You could spot it a mile away, and trust me, you'd want to. The 4th-gen Mustang was Ford's sweet spot, mixing classic muscle car vibes with a modern twist. They didn't just throw in more power, they upgraded the suspension and brakes to keep up with it. That means this car wasn't just fast, it was precise, nimble, and a joy to drive. Number 7. The 1967 Shelby GT500 Super Snake. Now this is a Mustang so rare and so insanely powerful that it's practically a legend. That's the 1967 Shelby GT500 Super Snake for you. Under the hood, it wasn't just a regular engine. It was a monstrous 427 cubic inch V8, pushing out a heart-stopping 500 horsepower. This beast was originally designed for racing, so you know it wasn't messing around. This car wasn't just built to drive, it was built to fly. Lightweight, with a competition-grade suspension and upgraded brakes, the Super Snake could tear up the track and turn every street it cruised down into its own personal runway. Let's talk about design. The bold Shelby stripes, the badges, the stance, it all screamed performance and heritage. But here's the real jaw-dropper. Only one original model was ever produced, and that's what makes the Super Snake so special. With its limited production and racing roots, it's a true unicorn in the muscle car world. Owning one today? It's like holding a slice of American automotive history in your garage. The raw power, the legend. It's a car that still gets pulses racing, even decades after it left the factory. Number 6. The 2003 Ford Mustang SVT Cobra. Fast forward to 2003, and Ford unleashed the SVT Cobra, nicknamed the Terminator, for a good reason. It was a technological marvel of its time. At its heart was a supercharged 4.6-liter DOHC V8 engine, delivering 390 horsepower and an equal amount of torque. Pair that with a slick 6-speed manual gearbox and rear-wheel drive, and you have a machine capable of launching from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.9 seconds. The engineering was cutting-edge, with aluminum alloy cylinder heads and an Eaton supercharger ensuring the engine breathes perfectly. On the outside, the Cobra flexed its muscles with an aggressive front fascia, unique side scoops, and a stance that meant business. Step inside, and you'd find leather-trimmed seats and modern comforts like the Mach 460 audio system. Luxury meeting performance in perfect harmony. Number 5. The 2016 Ford Mustang GT350. When the GT350 badge made its comeback in 2016, it wasn't just a return, it was a revolution. At its core was the now famous 5.2-liter V8 Voodoo engine. Well, it's naturally aspirated, meaning no turbos or superchargers, yet it pushes out an impressive 526 horsepower and 429 pound-feet of torque. This beast could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 4 seconds and push towards the top speed of nearly 180 miles per hour. But the GT350 isn't just about raw power. Ford designed it to dominate on the track. Its lightweight construction and advanced aerodynamics, think functional air vents and fierce front grille, help it slice through the air with precision. Then, there's the MagneRide suspension, a game-changer for handling. This system adjusts in real time to road conditions, keeping the car glued to the pavement whether you're cornering at high speeds or cruising down the highway. Number 4. The 2020 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. Now, this is a muscle car masterpiece that takes American performance to a whole new level. Under the hood, you've got a supercharged 5.2-liter V8 engine that pushes out a mind-blowing 760 horsepower and 625 pound-feet of torque. With that kind of power, this car means business. And with a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, you'll experience gear shifts that are so quick that you'll feel like you're breaking the sound barrier. It hits 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.3 seconds and can hit a top speed of 180 miles per hour. Pure adrenaline, right? But it's not just about speed. The GT500 is designed for handling too. It features adaptive MagneRide dampers and optional Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires to keep it glued to the road, whether you're taking tight corners on a track or cruising down the highway. Its aggressive front fascia and sleek aerodynamic design not only make it look mean, but also enhance its performance. Inside the GT500, it's all about the driver. Recaro seats, customizable drive modes, and a cockpit built for control let you tailor your ride to perfection. And with the Brembo calipers, you can trust the braking power when you need to slow down fast. Starting at $73,995, the GT500 is packed with performance and style, making it a serious contender against rivals like the Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. Ready to feel the thrill of the GT500? Number 3. The 2010 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. It's 2010, and Ford drops the Shelby GT500 on the streets like a beast on a leash. This car isn't just any Mustang. This is the one that combines the classic muscle car feel with next-level power. Under the hood, a supercharged 5.4-liter V8, pushing out a jaw-dropping 540 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. Talk about raw power. This thing doesn't just go fast, it screams its way from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 4.1 seconds and can get pretty close to 200 miles per hour if you're brave enough to push it. But the real magic is how Ford tuned this beast. Ford fine-tuned the suspension to give it sharper handling and a smoother ride, making this monster feel surprisingly agile for its size. When it comes to looks, this car means business. An aggressive front fascia, a rear spoiler for perfect aerodynamics, and that iconic Shelby badge that says it all. One can say with confidence that the 2010 Shelby GT500 is the ultimate blend of power, style, and performance, a true icon on the road. Number 2. The 2013 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 Super Snake. If you're all about raw power that gives you an adrenaline rush, the 2013 Shelby GT500 Super Snake is a car that'll light up your world. Let's talk power first. This beast kicks off with a supercharged 5.8-liter V8 engine that already pushes out an insane 662 horsepower. But wait, you can go even crazier with an upgrade that pushes the output to a mind-blowing 850 horsepower. That kind of muscle lets the Super Snake hit a top speed of 200 miles per hour and blast through the quarter mile in just 10.6 seconds at 137 miles per hour. It's all about that neck-snapping acceleration. But it's not just about going fast in a straight line. The Super Snake is designed to turn heads with its wide-body stance, which gives it a more aggressive and commanding presence on the road. Add to that enhanced cooling systems and a suspension that's built to handle all that power, and you've got a car that not only performs like a beast, but feels rock solid while doing it. The stripes, Shelby badges, and high-performance tires give it that iconic look that makes every other car on the street jealous. Now here's the thing. Only 500 of these cars were made. That makes the 2013 Super Snake a serious collector's item. It's a dream car for anyone who lives for performance and exclusivity. And number 1, the 2025 Mustang GTD. Ford has pulled out all the stops, creating a Mustang that's not just fast, it's a true supercar with the soul of a Mustang. With an insane 815 horsepower and 664 pound-feet of torque, this beast can hit a top speed of 202 miles per hour, making it the fastest street-legal Mustang ever. But it's not just about power. This GTD is packed with cutting-edge tech. We're talking active aerodynamics, carbon ceramic brakes, and an inboard rear suspension with semi-active dampers. These features are key to achieving something mind-blowing. An official sub-7-minute lap around the Nürburgring. Ford's chief engineer, Greg Goodall, isn't messing around when he says the Mustang GTD has the performance of a supercar, but still carries that unmistakable Mustang spirit. Under the hood, a supercharged 5.2-liter V8 that's more powerful than the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Talk about bragging rights. And this engine is built to handle the heat, thanks to Mustang's first-ever dry sump oil system, which keeps things running smoothly during those high-speed corners. With a red line of 7,650 RPM, a new titanium exhaust, and a smaller supercharger pulley, this engine is a masterpiece. So which of these Ford muscle cars would you take for a spin? Do you think the 2025 Mustang GTD is the ultimate speed machine? Or does the Shelby Super Snake take the crown? Which one impressed you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more muscle car madness.